decided that what I might do is I started looking through some of my books and thinking I'd be doing audio CDs for these because I've got a lot of books and I only have 2 audio CDs from them. So I thought I'd start working on the collection book, Personal Nudity, which was out in 2014. It's actually a junk photo of me where I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt, but we're like, let's put boards on it and I'll just plump up skin and I'll look like I'm naked jumping. But this is a bunch of shorter poems, and when I did this collection book, I included YouTube links of all the readings that I had done of these things. And I know I'd read things since, but I looked through this to see how many of these things have I never read before, because I could pull from those things to get for an audio CD, and there are 2 in here that I've never read before. So I was going to read them and then read a new piece. I'll do the more entertaining one first, I guess. And this is called Kuiper Name. Kuiper with an I, because my name is with an I. Oh, and by the way, if you want to applaud excessively, it would be on an audio CD. This is called the Kuipers Name. We have go sorting through the paperwork. Mom keeps records of everything, probably dating back to 1970. But they found baptism records, passport records, communion papers, birth certificates. And we just noticed that on Dad's birth certificate, his last name and our grandfather's name was actually spelled Kuipers, Kuipers with an I. And I have records of our family back to my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, born in 1767 in Houston. And unless the record I was given was wrong, our last name always was Kuipers with a Y. Now, my dad has always gone by Kuipers with a Y, and when I read this, I thought of the astronomer. The Kuiper Belt is named after us Dutch folk, like astronomy, apparently. And I don't know what our name really should be, and hey, all the kids' birth certificates say Kuipers Y, not Kuipers I. So I suppose it's just funny that the Dutch are great architects and we've been architects, or in the construction business, or like me photograph architecture all the time. And it's funny to see my name in astronomy, and by chance, someone spelling my dad's name on his birth certificate with an I. You know, it gives me one more connection to something I love. Oh, nice. This other one is from a different section of translated pieces into Serbian. I'm not reading the Serbian translation. And this was about dealing with trauma. So this is a very, very short piece that I wrote right after I almost died in a car accident. Very short, and it's called Not Getting Better. Everyone thinks I'm getting better, but no one knows what it's like, the pain I still go through. I've been fighting, but I don't see any signs that anything is getting better. I still have to wait, and it's already past due. I still can't see. I come up with a way in my head to make it better. No one can see the difference, but I still feel it. And I will share with you one new piece that I have not read here before. A couple of weeks ago, my sister called me to tell me that my brother died. Estranged, I hadn't seen him in a long time, he moved away, he didn't associate with the family, but I had to write something because I didn't want to be thinking anger when he was dead, and I wrote only half the story. He was a troubled man. He had a good life, but let demons in to do him in. In his struggles, he almost died a number of times. And even his family pushed him away and only heard news of his death after he was already cremated. And it makes me wonder if our love for him ever completely went away. Because even after all the mistakes were made, I want to believe that he's worth more than what his demons reduced him to. I want to remember that when I worked retail, he bought the biggest teddy bear through me when he had just found out that his wife was pregnant with their first child. And I suppose it was a fun way for me to get the news too. I want to remember how he'd come in sad after plowing too many streets to count that were filled with feet after feet of snow, and little icicles would be hanging off his mustache from his breath. I want to remember that he once built an airplane from scratch so he could sit in his own cockpit and fly himself into the sky. I want to remember him picking me up from the airport, where we decided to pay the airport parking machine with pennies, dropping pointless pennies and then laughing at repurposing pennies that once only wasted space in his trunk's ashtray. I want to remember that a friend from his youth, who was shorter than me by the time I was 12, that his friend decided that my nickname was Shorty. I want to remember how when I'd see him swim, he'd wear tiny Speedos. And that might seem strange, but he got a college scholarship for this. He was a near-Olympic diver, once in competition with medal winners like Greg Louganis. And he'd go to the diving board, and suddenly this concrete construction company owner sprung with such skill as he flipped through the air before making the tiniest tear and splashed next to nothing through that sheet of water that could shatter like glass through the sky if anyone else tried the same dive other than him. You see, I want to remember these little slices of his life, these windows into his acts of kindness, how he was the kind of guy who'd want to give the shirt off his back to a man in need. I want to remember this because I want to believe that he wasn't always lost. I want to believe that even though he erred, we should no longer condemn him, but condemn the thing that did this to him. So I try not to remember the demons, but remember the man inside. I want to believe, and this is why I must remember.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah.